Candace Owens, though. Bride of Chucky. Hold up. Hold up.
Okay, you guys, there is a very
Do you think Candace Owens has a vendetta for Erika Kirk? What is going on here? She's been making an awful lot of videos about Erika Kirk. Apparently, Erika has pissed her off in some way, shape, or form.
strange thing happening right now where a young woman with absolutely zero professional qualifications has been inserted at the top of a charity organization that pulled in over $250 million last year. And the
AKA
media is
Erika
telling
Kirk.
you that you have no right to know or to ask anything about her. The argument being made is that her husband was murdered. Therefore, she has a right to assume the position. And despite the fact that Turning Point USA is a literal charity, and therefore it's not even have to pay tax on that $250 million+ or pay tax on the alleged
What?
future billions that it's due to rake in.
See, that's the thing about owning your own business. It's a blessing and a curse at the same time. Like if you own your own business, you can do so many write-offs that you can almost just not owe anything, keep all your money. Not gonna be able to keep all of it, but big chunk of it anyways. But other than that, especially the big ones, especially if they're a charity. So they raked in 250 million, a quarter of $1 billion, and they don't have to pay any taxes. Can you believe that shit?
To a deal with a man named Pierre. These talking heads are claiming that the public simply wanting to ensure the person who is running that organization is, I don't know, at a bare minimum, moderately honest about who she says she is. No, that inquiry makes you a monster. So I guess
Makes you
your
a
job is to
monster.
head to work 9 to 5, receive a flurry of unsolicited emails and text messages reminding you that Charlie
Yeah, Erica, you're a bitch. That's what she's saying. You're a fucking bitch.
Kirk, the innocent man that you watched be executed in broad
I'm convinced now that Erica is not the Christian we thought she was.
daylight live, you're to be reminded that that was her Charlie. My Charlie needs your help. Here's how you can give us your 401k and house. The emails have been
Yeah, my Charlie needs help too. Give me your 401k in your house. Everybody. As a matter of fact, we're going to turn this into a sermon. You guys cannot leave my stream until you guys have donated like $4 million. I'm just fucking with you guys.
landing into your inbox at an alarming rate, saying things like that. There's virtually nothing that the feds are telling us about his murder that makes any objective sense. But if you're feeling weird about any of that, you're reminded constantly that she is a grieving widow. She's a grieving widow.
She don't look like a grieving widow. At least not to me. Because them tears look fake as shit, dude. Man, she is everything about her is fake though, man. Everything. At first I was believing it. Like I was really believing it. And maybe she really was upset at first when he was killed. Now the shit's just now we're starting to see like the bigger picture. And it's not I don't think it's what everybody thought it was.
That sentence, in my opinion, is this year's Trust the Science. She's a grieving widow. The mainstream media, of course, Zionists implied, are effectively telling you to roll up your sleeves and get the vaccine again, dopes. Tyler Robinson did it. Erika Kirk is grieving.
Bullshit. Don't get the vaccine. You don't need the vaccine. I was stupid enough to get the one shot. Haven't got none of the boosters. And I feel like an idiot for even getting the one that I got. First of all, they lied to us anyways. They said, well, if you get the COVID shot, you won't catch COVID. Well, that was bullshit because I caught COVID 4 times. The first one was the worst, though. I will say that. The first one was definitely the worst. I got pneumonia. Shit, I thought I was going to die on that one. But then the second and third one wasn't too bad. Then the fourth one, man, I lost my taste for a month. And that's a weird feeling when you drink something and you can't taste shit.
Please allow her to do so in the privacy of the billion-dollar charity that she took over. Remember when they did the 6 feet social distancing thing? They cast that spell.
Yeah, that bullshit.
Let your granddad die alone in the hospital if you desire to see your.
See, that's where they would have had to freaking no way. If I had like my grandmother, like for those of you that know, my grandmother was in the hospital for 21 days in January and then 2-3 weeks at a rehab center. If they would have told me that I couldn't go in there, like you had to just because I'm convinced that if she didn't have somebody with her just for like support, I don't think she would have had the like she wouldn't even have tried to fight. But I think the fact of somebody being there 24/7, she fought through it. Now she's still got to do open heart surgery, um, which we're going to go the 18th of March to talk about that. With the doctor. But she, for those of you that know, she barely made it, fucking barely. But yeah, if they would have told me like, hey, you can't go see your grandmother, I'd be like, bullshit. You'd see me on the news. I'd have been in jail or I'd been killing people. I would have found my way in there.
Grandma this Thanksgiving, it's because you're a demon from the gates of hell. Yeah. Resist your human instincts. Obey the government.
Bullshit.
It's the same kind of messaging, the same kind of emotional manipulation, but it's a new year.
Fuck
Still
the
have
government.
questions or concerns about who Erika Kirk is and
Yeah, fuck the government. I don't care if the FBI is watching. Fuck the government.
why she seems to have lied many times on record? Well, you're Satan, and I'm sorry that you are. And also, I would like to remind you that you are destroying Charlie's legacy.
Ooh.
Now, it is very important.
Ooh. Hold on. I gotta sneeze. Ooh, destroying Charlie's legacy. Is Erika destroying Charlie's legacy? Uh, I honestly think she was just in it for the money, yo. I don't really think she cared for him that much. Maybe she did a little bit, but I think she was mainly there for the money. She knew she was there for the cash and prizes.
That I remind you, we haven't even said anything yet. A 2-minute trailer resulted in one of the most aggressive preemptive PR strikes that I have ever seen. They posted photos of my manager's infant daughter, my makeup artist, my family members. They left a voicemail for my.
Wow, now they're starting to get personal. Putting pictures of her friends and her family out on the internet? Man, Erika, you bitch. What the fuck?
Producer. Okay. Well, this was initially supposed to be just 3 episodes. But now I'm thinking about a season 2 and a season 3. Because if you haven't quite figured me out yet, or thought through how we got here, I don't like it when innocent people are targeted and attacked and on rare occasions shot in the neck in broad daylight. No one blinked when entire investigative series and books were written about Hillary Clinton, Michelle Obama, Meghan Markle, because they're public figures.
Fuck Meghan Markle, y'all. Meghan Markle sucks. Like, for real. And Harry, is that who it is? Prince Harry? He's a bitch for even staying with her, dude. He's so whipped. And she got what she wanted, man. She pulled him away from the royal family. If I was in his position and she tried to pull some shit like that, I'd be like, bitch, I'm staying right here. You found me right here, and this is where I'm staying. You can stay or you can take your sorry ass out to California without me. But I ain't going. I'm not leaving my family. Fuck you.
I've effectively endured 10 years in politics with nonstop exposés and investigations into my background, but we're told Erika is somehow untouchable. Let me tell you something. The truth does not require a multi-million-dollar PR campaign. It also does not fear inspection. So welcome to Bride of Charlie.
Bride of Charlie.
We have nothing to hide.
We have nothing to hide, y'all. Got nothing to hide. An investigative series. Oh, we digging into Erika Kirk's background now.
Where should we begin in the story?
Maybe we'll find out she's trans. Maybe all this time she wasn't really a female. Maybe we'll find out she's trans, y'all.
I think maybe with just a blanket statement. Something is not right with Erika Kirk. And despite a most aggressive influence,
something's not right with her, y'all. Is she packing a tree trunk? She got a tree trunk she's packing?
Campaign, which at one point even included a signed letter from the Secretary of Treasury assuring us that Turning Point is above board, an amazing organization. And despite, in addition to that, a flurry of homosexual men making over dramatic videos about sheer evil. No, not mass murdering children. Sheer evil, investigating someone at the
Yeah,
helm of
sheer
a $1 billion
evil.
company. Despite all of that, the public remains unconvinced that she is simply a grieving widow, because she isn't simply.
No, she's not. At first I believed it. I bought it. But now, no. So, like, after Charlie was killed, right? She got, she did the speech in front of the, what was it? They held like that ceremonial thing for him. And she was crying. And, I was believing it. I was buying it. She was talking about the God and she's a Christian and blah, blah, blah. Well, it wasn't too long after that. All of a sudden, she's now the CEO. They brought in $250 million, and they don't have to pay taxes on any of that shit. And now when she's doing interviews, the tears look fake. They don't look like real tears. It's almost like she's forcing herself to try to cry. It's really weird.
Grieving widow. She's also the CEO and chairman of an organization. In fact, during our preparation for this series, an investigative journalist named Elizabeth Lane went viral on X because what she authored about Erika was brilliant. It just was objectively brilliant. It gave voice to what millions of people worldwide were feeling, but didn't exactly know how to express. And I'm going to read you her words in their entirety because I think it's very important, okay?
Okay.
Elizabeth Lane wrote, "I'm going to be blunt. I have reached the point where I find Erika Kirk to be deeply disturbing, not because of rumors or gossip, but because of consistent, observable patterns of behavior. To be clear, everything I say in this post is my opinion. I am not."
Yeah, that's the way to cover your ass. This is just my opinion. No, don't be scared. Be like, hey, this is the truth. She's just trying to cover her ass, whoever this lady is.
Claiming this is a fact, I am saying this is what I think Erika Kirk is. I come from the world of acting and modeling. I have spent years around social climbers, opportunists, image curators, and people who treat relationships like ladders. That is why I left that world. Most of these people are shallow and harmless. A few are dangerous. Erika falls into the latter category not because she is just ambitious, but because of how calculated and performative her ambition appears to be. I believe
But isn't that all females, though, to a certain degree? Like, I ain't met one yet that isn't, like, somewhat dramatic. A little bit over dramatic. They're good actors, some of them. Some of them can't act for shit. But they're all actors.
she may be a psychopath. What stands out immediately is the reaction that she provokes in other people, which is very common with psychopaths. Across the board, including people who support her publicly, the private reaction is the same. It's, I can't watch her. It's not a criticism, it's just a physical discomfort. People turn off interviews because the presentation feels artificial to the point of being unbearable. Let me explain. That kind of response does not happen accidentally and does not happen often. Research in psychology shows that humans are highly sensitive to emotional incongruence, mismatches between a facial expression, tone, and content. When the effect appears simulated rather than genuine, the brain registers it as a threat. This activates discomfort and avoidance, even if the person cannot consciously explain why. So many of us felt this way, but we could not explain why we could not watch her. Studies on psychopathy, particularly those building on the work of psychologists like Robert Hare, describe traits such as a rehearsed emotional display and shallow affect. These traits can create what observers experience as uncanny interpersonal dynamic. The discomfort arises and people want to shut it off because most people rarely encounter extreme affective mimicry in everyday life. So the brain struggles to categorize what it is detecting. Erika is attractive enough, and she had every tool in her possession to sell this or.
There ain't nothing attractive about her. You seen the shit ton of makeup she puts on her face? I mean, she must use like a fucking, I don't know, like a gallon of like powder and then probably a gallon of eyeliner. I mean, she kicks that shit on there big time.
Organically, except for one thing, emotion. The entire story of what happened could have helped her sell this fully. She really would have been the last person on earth to be a suspect, if not for the FBI's terrible mistakes, Turning Point USA's lies, and her very fake performance. Plenty of attractive, ambitious women move through media spaces without triggering that response, even though we know what they are. This is about something else, an extreme disconnect between presentation that she puts out and the perceived authenticity. Erika is not the archetype of a
Yep.
model actress seeking money and fame and then settling into a quiet life with a wealthy, good looking husband. She is the wolf type who wants
Yep. She's the wolf type. And I'm starting to see that. And I think a lot of people are starting to notice that too. Like I said, I think everybody was buying it at first. Everybody felt sorry for her. But now, moves that she's made in such short time, now she's CEO. Now she's bringing in 250 million, taking donations from people that Charlie would have never taken donations from. I mean, really? And then to have Ben Shapiro on there, and I know that Charlie and Ben wasn't getting along. Man, he's probably rolling in his grave right now.
to be in the place of that husband. She is not born for a supporting role. She's a decision maker. She appears to pursue proximity to power, moving fluidly between television, nonprofits, branding opportunities, and ideological spaces that maximize her exposure. Her previous partners are guys that women
But then some would say that maybe this lady that wrote this is just jealous. And maybe she is. I mean, I don't know. We don't know. But I don't know. I agree with this lady, whoever the hell she
like her
is.
would date. Muscular, jacked, good looking, even though they are not people with huge potential. They are all somewhat established. They are good stepping stones until the right person shows up. Now, looking at her previous partners, I would say that Charlie probably was not her type visually, but he was exactly
That is 100. Isn't that fucking every female though? Her previous partners are guys women like her would date. Muscular, jacked, good looking. Even though they are not people with huge potential, they are all somewhat established. They are good stepping stones until the right person shows up. Isn't that just about like 99.9% of every female? Like they want to date the good looking dude, and then when they get older and they've already had the kids, and they want some poor son of a bitch to take care of them all. Isn't that what they all do? I ain't met one yet that ain't done that.
what she was looking for in a man: potential to be a great
What's up,
power.
Tyler?
What Erika was looking for is the same thing Hillary Clinton was looking for when she met Bill. She recognized that Bill Clinton was her ticket to power, the power that she could control, and she was right. She realized that she could create a great brand out of him and herself, and they still are a brand, the Clintons. No one in this world can say that those two love each
Oh,
other. They are a brand that works. That's why she's sticking around despite Epstein and Lewinsky. Also, if you think Bill is the decision maker there, you must have never been in close proximity
no, Hillary runs that camp, y'all. Hillary's got Bill by the balls, man. He's fucking whipped too. I don't blame him though with that Monica Lewinsky bullshit. If I had to deal with if I had to deal with Hillary all the time, shit, I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. I would have done the same thing. Fuck. First of all, I wouldn't even be with Hillary. I'd have divorced her ass a long time ago.
to the Clintons. She moves the game. She is the decision maker. Erika saw a brand with Charlie. She also saw that Charlie could one day become president of the United States if he wanted to. Charlie had the ear of the most powerful segment of any society, students. He was going to be a very important player in politics, and she was not missing that
Mm-hmm.
ride. What is striking is how completely her public identity reshapes itself after that relationship begins. The aesthetic, the tone, the values, the presentation all change.
Yeah, all of a sudden she becomes a reborn Christian. But you look at some of her older photos and the dude she was dating, you see them pictures. She doesn't look like a fucking she don't look like Christian in those pictures. All of a sudden she became holy.
Overnight, the persona shifts into the role that best suits Charlie's world: a devoted Christian, modest, a supportive housewife. That kind of rapid adaptation is quite impressive for a usual person, but not for a psychopath because they do it all the time. In my head, the story goes like this. For a moment, it works. She becomes the wife of a rising political figure with access to donors, institutions, and
Mm-hmm.
national platforms. At that point, the ceiling isn't social media influence, it's empire building, foundations, global reach, a legacy, a brand, the Kirks. It's obvious that Charlie
Oh,
listens to her, whether it's about donors or the trajectory
I have a question though. I have a question. I wonder if Charlie started to see what she really was though, because nobody has still been able to answer this. For those of you that don't know, apparently the night before Charlie was killed, uh, Erica made Charlie sleep in a room with their kids, and he didn't have his wedding band on. It was in the room with Erica. So he took his wedding band off and slept in a different room. And it makes you wonder if maybe he was starting to see her true colors before he got killed.
Of Turning Point USA, the most influential figure in any mentally healthy man's life is going to be his wife. She's going to be the biggest influence, and that is just how it is. That is why
That's
you need
right.
to pick your partner wisely. And everything was going well until Charlie began making decisions based on conscience rather than expansion and money. He turns down money. He refuses to play dirty politics. I am assuming someone like Erika, who married into this because she had a vision for this brand, would not be very happy about that. The life she appears to have signed up for, power couple, expanding influence, historical relevance, was collapsing into something else entirely. Domesticity, housewife, kids, and now Charlie refusing to accept the money that can make him a global power. A supporting role instead of center stage is not her thing. Her husband died a few days ago, and she walks onto the stage as if she was born there. It comes naturally to her. She knows it and she wants it. Just days after her husband's death, she was already laying out ambitious plans for the company over Zoom. It's obvious she was always deeply involved in the business and knew exactly where to pick up when her turn came. What people struggle to watch, what makes the screen...
And Charlie didn't see it coming either. And like I said, I would love to know if the night before, with him having the wedding band off and them being in separate rooms, if he was starting to see her true colors, see her for what she was.
Unbearable is not grief. It's the absence of emotional continuity. Performances can be learned. Trust me, as a former actress, I can speak to that. But emotion cannot be improvised or mimicked if you've never experienced it. That's
right.
why I think we are dealing with a psychopath who has never really experienced these emotions and does not know how to play them. And audiences feel it instantly.
Yeah, it's sad to watch her when she's on stage or doing an interview now, because the tears look so forced. Like, there aren't even tears rolling. Like, her eyes will water, but it looks so fucking fake now. And it's getting to the point where, like, it's like she's struggling. She's just struggling to look like she's a grieving widow.
It's fake. Again, this is just my opinion. It's a good place to start. It is a good place to start because there are a lot of things that Elizabeth said there that I think I am going to be able to prove, adapting her personality to suit the people that she meets.
Come on, Candace, prove
the lies
it.
that she tells. I've done a lot of work here speaking to ex-boyfriends, speaking to old classmates.
She went to the ex-boyfriends. You know the ex-boyfriends are going to tell everything about Erika. They're going to say she's a hoe. She's a 304. She's a hooker. I used to pimp her out on the corner of 8th and Main Street.
I really wanted to get a sense of who Erika was. And also, in a word, yes, I concur. There is something about her. I don't know any single personality in the media or politics that has had the same effect that Erika has had on people worldwide. She's a rare bird, okay? She has actually managed to unify the left and the right on a single perspective. Think about that, how amazing that is.
Really?
Say what you will about Hillary Clinton, but she had a true following on the left, right? It was a bloody match back in 2016. Now, beyond Erika, what Elizabeth is diving into here is psychology, right? She's guessing and she's speaking about psychology, a social science that was created, to be very clear, by German mystical Jews, right? They believed in mystical Judaism. They were practicing
mystical Judaism.
Now, if you are a regular viewer of this show, you know that I have sort of obsessed myself with this history over the past 2 years, the books that we read in book club, all about the very dark history of modern psychology and its direct relationship to child abuse, trauma-based mind control. That's what the book,
Why, I hate to bring this up, but why does Candace look like an alien in this video? All the other videos I've seen her, she's had her hair down. Maybe it's because she got her hair up. I don't know, but she looks like a fucking alien. Like she looks weird in this video.
Assault on Truth lays out. This person wasn't just an author that was guessing when he wrote this book. He was in control of the Sigmund Freud archives and lost his entire career just trying to ring the alarm on what these scientists knew. He explains that they abuse children with the goal of transforming them into future psychopaths that can be controlled. That is the science that was brought here to America via Operation Paperclip. What began as
Operation
Project
Paperclip.
Monarch in Germany ultimately became MK Ultra in America. The Manson murders, the 60s, all of that was our government, CIA gone wild after the assassination of JFK for drugging and experimenting upon citizens with the explicit goal of controlling minds, social engineering, making people get into a formation. These are indisputable and historical facts. This brought forth the dawn of serial killers in America, too many of them with curious ties to the military. Yeah, MK Ultra
Okay.
was a military grade program. Truthfully,
Okay. Come on, Candace. Get back on track. Sounds like you're getting off track. We were talking about Erika Kirk, and she's kind of going way off course here.
behind every unthinkable crime is a deranged psychologist and a prescription cabinet. If you think that MK Ultra ever stopped, I hope that the Epstein files and the stunning defense of the Epstein files from our quote unquote elites helped to shatter that illusion for you. We discussed MK Ultra during the Kamala Chronicles. Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, is suing me for merely mentioning MK
What?
Ultra.
The president of France is suing Candace Owens? What? Man, fuck you, Macron. Not that you're watching this, but fuck that dude. Yeah, screw France. Fuck France.
On Tim Dillon's show.
You're not going to stop anything with the brakes that you got.
Well, this don't look like Tim Dillon's show.
On carparts.com.
How bizarre. Why is the president of France, who himself is a victim of minor sex abuse, so concerned about that conversation being opened up?
Yeah.
Independent
Good point.
study into Sigmund Freud and what he and his colleagues were doing in Vienna is crucial for you to understand what is going on in this world and the way that the world works, okay? Now, pivoting back to Erika and her story, I will tell you my personal opinion and my experience with her. What alarms me about Erika isn't so much the fact that she lies, which we will prove to you over and over again, but it's also the fact that I don't
Oh, a blonde lying? Really? Since when do blondes lie? That's nothing new. Seems like they all do. And they're all retarded too. I don't think I ain't met one that's been retarded or done something so stupid. It was just like like the stereotype is real. Like natural blondes are just they're retarded.
know that she's aware that she's lying. It's almost as though she doesn't remember. Like the version that she's telling us today or yesterday was just recently downloaded into her mind, and she therefore thinks it's true, like a faulty memory or something. I'm saying that I'm not sure if she's fully aware that she's lying, because it's like some of the lies are so stupid. She's just sort
How could she not know that she's lying? I mean, come on, really? She knows she's lying. She knows what the fuck she's doing.
of going. I want you to also know, by the way, of course, we reached out ahead of this episode. We reached out to her specifically with just 4 questions pertaining to past statements that she's made that do not appear to align with the reality of what we have discovered. Okay. For example, here's just one example. We are told that Erika Franzwey was raised by a strong, independent, entrepreneurial, single mother who taught her how to be
Yeah, that's
a
probably
Christian,
bullshit.
devout Catholic mother. Lori Franzwey, right? As an aside, that this Catholic
Jesus Christ. Who the fuck is this lady? God, you thought Erica looks bad. Hey, this is what Erica's going to look like in about another 10 years. Holy shit. Look at her face, man. It's fucked. Erica, you're done. 10 more years, you're going to be screwed. Damn. I know that ain't her mother, but still that could be her mother.
mom, who am I to judge Catholics, but she's been married 4 times that I can see. We'll talk about that more down the line. More importantly, though, you will recall that
Yeah. Yeah, don't you love that? I'm a Christian, but I've been married 3, 4, 5 times. Yeah. I'm a Christian. I believe in marriage. And you're supposed to not believe in divorce if you're a Catholic. But If you got 3 or 4 divorces under your belt, that kind of screams to like every dude out there that they know what you are. You're gold digging, and you're just trying to find the right sucker.
Erika sat down for an in-person interview with the New York Times days after Charlie was publicly assassinated, and she confirmed to them that the least traumatizing part about Charlie's assassination was the prospect of her now having to raise her children alone. She wasn't traumatized by that idea because she had
What?
seen the example set for her by her mother growing up. As People magazine later echoed,
Oh yeah, them single mothers. Yep, single mothers, man. That's why a lot of the kids end up all fucked up because they don't have the dads around. Yeah. Okay.
quote, Erika Kirk has learned a lot from her mother, Lori Franzwey. After welcoming her daughter in November of 1988, Franzwey divorced Erika's father, Kent Franzwey, and raised her as a single mother.
Well, divorce runs in the family, y'all. I think it runs in every family. Like, look, man, back in the day, maybe getting married was a good idea. But now with social media and internet and all that bullshit, nah, nah, it's too easy to cheat, man. And now I mean, you can pretty much go out there and pick whatever the hell you want, whether you're female or male. I mean, there's hoes on. You got hoe dudes, you got hoe females. You can go out there and find whatever the fuck you want, man. The market is just flooded.
In Scottsdale, Arizona, Lori spent nearly 2 decades working for General Electric before founding multiple companies in the network security industry, according to her LinkedIn. So you can see they're seeding the public with the idea that you can
What's up,
raise
Tyler?
kids and be a single mom and also be a CEO and boss babe it. Okay. The only problem is that it's just not true. Erika was not raised by a single mother, like
Oh, really?
at all. Erika's father,
Nah, she wasn't raised by her single mother. She was raised by Martians. Yep, she was raised by Martians. That's why she is the way she is, all fucked up.
Kent Franzwey, by the way, he's Kenneth Franzwey, but he goes by Kent, was always in her life.
She's doing
So
good.
much so that for
She's doing a lot better, but
entire years of
but she's gonna have to do open heart surgery. She's gonna have to get a three-way bypass. So yep, she's gonna have to do open heart surgery. So her journey ain't done
her
yet.
childhood, Kent was actually a stay-at-home dad. So almost the exact opposite thing was true at one point. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. You can actually take Erika's. Take a listen.
How am I
Hold
doing?
on. I do not
I'm doing fine. I'm doing good. Except for my nose, man. My nose has like been fucked up all day. But that's besides the point. So if I sound like I'm kind of nasally, it's it's because I am.
want to knock the stay-at-home dads. I do not. There are some who had to temporary have to switch that role. That happened to my parents a long time ago. Granted, again, they got a divorce, so that probably falls into your
Look, guys, Charlie's not dead. Charlie is still alive. Look, we see him right here. He's still alive. He's not dead, y'all. And Erica's talking to him. I'm fucking with you guys.
bucket. But
I am an anthropologist.
my dad was a stay-at-home dad for a few years, and I gotta say it was really sweet and really special. I was 4, but
It,
That was-
Of course, it's not an
Oh,
indictment
okay.
of the morality. Of
no.
I'm
But if
talking
I knew
you're
about-
so-
saying from the
it's a-
get
I knew you were behind it somehow. I just wasn't sure how, Tyler.
go,
it's an-
I want to be a stay-at-home.
it is a imbalance.
Dad.
It's an imbalance of nature.
So
It's an imbalance of nature, y'all.
stay-at-home dad for a couple of years. She remembers it, so I would assume started at 4 for a couple of years. People don't typically remember being 1 and 2, and now he wasn't in her life. Now, to be clear, Erika was 10 years old when her parents divorced in 1998, so her father was very much a part of her early.
Dude, divorce is so common anymore. Like, you're almost stupid to get married. I mean, and that's for male or female, man. You're almost stupid to get married nowadays. Honestly. It's such a fucking headache, and I can't have somebody up my ass all the time. Yeah, I joined your server on Discord. I haven't had time to really mess with Discord, but I did manage to get that done.
childhood, and he did not stop being involved in her teenage years either. I've spoken with classmates, past boyfriends, and people are generally bewildered as to why Erika is now publicly representing as though she does not have a relationship with Kent, the man that she claims is her father, at least. Or also, something she fails to mention is that even if you removed Kent, Erika was raised with her stepfather in her home, a man named Larry Ginta. In her high school yearbook, actually,
Larry
Kent
Ginta? Who the fuck is Larry Ginta? Jesus Christ, dude. I don't know. You know, people are going to probably say that I'm giving her shit, but I don't think she looks all that great in that picture either. And she was what, college, high school, maybe? I mean, come on, man. Like Biden says, come on, man.
is included, her father, biological father, in a collage, and so are his parents, her grandparents, Carl and Elaine. So we can reasonably assume that her father was in her life. We can also assume from that photo that Erika was
She was Miss Arizona. Y'all believe that shit? Miss Arizona. That's not really saying a whole lot. I mean, can you imagine a blonde in the desert? I mean, that's not a hard competition to win. Like she probably went to the border. Like most of the Mexicans haven't seen blondes. They don't have very many blondes in Mexico, so they probably seen her. So that's how she won. Let her do the contest here where there are some blondes. She'll fucking lose.
exceedingly close to her stepfather too. You can bring that back up and I'll show that. But he's featured there too. You've got Larry in the photo because he has been a fixture in her life since before her parents' divorce was ever finalized. Because both he and his son are also in the collage. I confirmed with classmates Larry and Lori were together since Erika's elementary school days. In other words, Erika
Damn.
grew up in a situation that is now termed as a bonus dad. Both her biological
Bonus dad. Okay. Anybody out there got bonus dads? Fuck is a bonus dad?
father and her stepfather figure were present and all living in and around the Scottsdale area. So why this little public misrepresentation? I would be super offended if I was a stay-at-home dad.
Shit, having one dad is bad enough. But to have a bonus dad too? Fuck that. Erika looks like her face was squished by one of the hydraulic press when she was bored. Yo, Tyler.
And then suddenly you've got someone saying, I was all alone. My mom did it all by herself. Now you will see throughout this investigation that there are a lot of little wrinkles like this in Erika's story. The question is,
Erika is starting to get some wrinkles, if you guys haven't noticed.
what broader purpose do they serve? Because I thought about that, and I remember reading in Xavier Poussard's book, Becoming Brigitte, that it is actually an intentional strategy
Becoming
of
Brigitte?
deception.
What the fuck is
Strategy
that?
used by the media in
What the fuck is Brigitte? Candace Owens presents an investigation by Xavier Poussard. Becoming Brigitte. The fuck is? I'm gonna have to look that up after the stream. Start calling everybody that. Hey, what's up, Brigitte? You fucking Brigitte? Does Erika have syndrome? Have syndrome or the down? Oh, you mean is she down with syndrome? Yeah, she's down with syndrome.
creating and curating a legend about, in this case, he was talking about Brigitte, how the press would intentionally make minor edits or overlook certain dates, small adjustments rather, made over a long period of time, a date wrong here, an age miscalculation there, just ever so slightly, because minor tweaks over a long period of time aren't noticeable, even though they ultimately amount to a big lie. This is exactly what I have found to be immediate.
Erika's a liar and a bitch. You can tell just by looking at her. I don't know. She just comes across as one of those females that would just be a real bitch to be around all the time, man.
Immediately frustrating about examining Erika's life. Minor tweaks that almost look like they could be mistakes. And you go, but really? Do people make these kinds of mistakes? Let's start with her birthday. Okay, give you another example here. Erika Franzwey, we are told, was born on November 20th, 1988 in
She had a fucked up last name too, Franzwey. Erika Franzwey.
Cincinnati, Ohio. Great. There's a newspaper relic
She probably only married Charlie just so she can get that last name changed.
announcing her birth 2 weeks later on December 6th. It
Her
tells
birth
us
was a
that she was
mistake.
born at Good Samaritan Hospital. Fantastic. To Kent and Lori Franzwey. Check. Amazing. By the way, it's just something to note about Good Samaritan Hospital. A little fun fact. That actually used to be the U.S. Marines Hospital. One that once upon a time caused a little bit of a scandal for unethically experimenting on brains.
You notice she said it used to be the U.S. Marine Hospital, but then Erika was born and everybody left. She ran everybody out of the hospital. They had to close it down.
Patients, the brains of patients. Anyway, the story goes that the U.S. Marine Hospital just up and decided to gift the hospital to the Catholic Sisters of Charity
Yeah, right.
out of the goodness of their Marine hearts or something, because our military is known for that, just being really, really kind and giving up hospitals. Point is, we learned from this newspaper clipping that Erika was born on November 20th, and she maintains that birthday today. But oddly,
Hey, don't date anybody that was born in November, man. One of my exes was born in November. Fucking crazy. That explains why Erika's so fucking crazy and looks crazy.
that would be news to her parents. Kent and Lori, for whatever reason, think that Erika was born 2 days later on November 22nd. We know this because of their divorce filings, which took place in 1998. On that divorce initial filing, Lori, who filed, lists Erika as having been born on November 22nd, multiple times. Now, in case
Why would somebody lie about their date of birth? Why would somebody lie about that? And she's almost got the same birth date as one of my exes, November. Hers was like November, I think it was November 20th, 1987. So about a year apart. But shit, why would somebody lie about a few days, the 20th versus the 22nd? That don't
you're
make no
thinking, well,
sense.
maybe this was a mistake, you should know that the filing done by her mother, Lori, only has 4 statements of fact. It's effectively a one-pager. One of the facts is that Kent and Lori were married on November 20th, 1995 in Marblehead, Massachusetts. So they decided to get married on Erika's, what would have been Erika's 7th birthday. Okay, that's strange. I mean, at least the birthday she says she has, but this document is saying, no, she's born 2 days later. So I guess it wasn't her 7th birthday. Attached to this document, which was filed on July 20th, 1998, is another document that I can only assume was scanned in with an intention to further confuse people. It's a separation agreement, which is not notarized. It's not dated. So it's almost not relevant. And it completely edits the date of the marriage between Kent and Lori from November 20.
So the parties were married on November 2nd, 1982, and have been and still are husband and wife. Huh.
1995 down to November 7th, 1982. A casual 13 years and 13 days wiped out, okay? Like I said, you can just ignore that because I think that document was just put in there to confuse people. Take it from me,
Thanks
I'm a
for the
notary,
follow, Logic Rack.
one in the state of New York, although my license is expired. You can't just skip over a notary portion of a document and just be fine with that. In fact, we decided to dig through Ohio law and other publicly available divorce documents to see what they look like, and they are legitimate. And here is a side-by-side so you can see on the right is what is scanned into their file with totally different dates. And on the left, you can see that's what it should look like. You get it notarized, okay? But it's going to get even more absurd when we examine the divorce decree. So for the uninitiated...
So how long were they married before they got divorced? Sounds like they didn't stay together too long.
The first document's just the filing.
But if her mother's anything like Erika, I can understand why. I can understand why her father would be like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here."
Lori am pursuing a divorce, and here are the facts. And now what comes after that is the decree or the final judgment. Okay. Now, I do want to note that this was the fastest divorce in the history of divorce because she filed on July 20th, 1998. And then we have a decree on November 10th.
Oh, what's up,
the same
Logic
year.
Rack?
So this is like
You're
3
right,
months
man.
later. Once again, the marriage date is listed, the initial marriage date between Kent and Lori, as November 20th.
Okay. Let's see. He said, service is hereby proved that the plaintiff has been a bona fide resident of Ohio for more than 6 months immediately preceding the filing. Court has full and complete jurisdiction to determine the case that the defendant were married on November 20th, 1985. Why the fuck are these dates changing? 85, 88? What's going on?
1995 in Marblehead, Massachusetts. But oddly, you can see that somebody just went in and tried to edit that date by hand afterward.
Yeah, that's definitely handwritten for sure. Tyler says, I want to write a letter to Erika and tell her that she is the reason why I refuse to get married. Yo, hey, I'm with you on that one, Tyler. Yeah, man. She seems like she's a crazy bitch, dude.
Adjusting the wedding date down this time to 1985, not 1982, hoping, I guess, that no one would catch that. I guess the unnotarized 1982 that we saw in the initial filing was too difficult. It would have been too obvious. So this time they're attempting to do it by hand and edit the date of marriage back just 10 years, not 13 years. This is not subtle. It is not normal, and it bothers me greatly.
Yeah, what difference does it make?
Someone who is chronically being sued. That is not how modifications work.
That's a bad disease to have, chronically being sued. Man, fuck that. I don't want that disease. Tyler says, unfortunately, I was born not far from Marblehead, Massachusetts. Well, I wouldn't want to be there. Marblehead? The fuck?
On court documents, you can't just use a pen and write something on a divorce decree. You just can't do that. People have to initial, you got to date, you got to see who saw it. This is crazy.
You got to do this.
My suspicion, and again, this is just
It is kind of crazy.
general suspicion, is that this was done after the fact. Maybe someone had a friend down at the county clerk who was responsible for scanning those docs into the system. And they just kind of did that. Because that's not real life. That's just not real life. And what
Well, since Erika was born there, Tyler, does that place even exist anymore? Like, once she was born there, that place probably disappeared. Nobody lives there anymore. They can't. It's tainted now.
once again, that has another casually added separation agreement, which is still not notarized, with an entirely different date of marriage. And the crazy part is that the separation agreement, in that separation agreement, Kent Francevey is waiving his rights to an attorney with no notary present. He just agrees that Lori's lawyer can represent him on everything. So what are we to discern from this? We are at
what are
four
we to discern
different
from
plausible
this?
marriage dates between Kent and Lori Francevey across 2 documents. I should also add that I could not find a single trace of their alleged marriage in Marblehead,
Bullshit. You didn't look hard enough, Candace. You couldn't find anything. You didn't look hard enough.
Massachusetts. Doesn't mean
I'm
that it doesn't
joking.
exist, but I couldn't find it across any date. And Marblehead, I would like to note, is certainly an interesting town to pick because it's the recognized birthplace of the Marine Corps. We're going to keep hearing the Marines coming up throughout this entire story.
I did
We're
not
just
know
laying
that.
the groundwork here. Now, I should note, to be responsible here, that there are divorce-related documents that are available in Ohio online that we simply are not allowed to have access to. Like, people have privacy. That makes sense. So it's entirely plausible that they went in and fixed these glaring errors that for some reason a judge, we're supposed to believe a judge signed off on this many wacky different dates. But the point here is just to demonstrate to you how even the most mundane facts about Erika's life are frustrating to verify. And that's just an appetizer, my friends.
Okay. Why would they do that, though? Why go through all that trouble? Just to change, like, a couple years. 10 years versus 13 years? I mean, what would be the big difference? What are they trying to hide? Why would they have to change it? Something's up.
Because then we received a very interesting email from Sweden. One of my
Sweden.
Sweden fans, what's up? What's up, Sweden? And it
What's up, Sweden?
led me to even more questions about Erika's paternity. We are going to be right back after a break. All right, you guys, some good news.
Her paternity. How crazy would it be if we found out that Erika, if they did a DNA test, and we found out that Erica's kids wasn't even Charlie's? How fucking crazy would that be?
Thanks to you, last year, preborn help. Visit getkickoff, KIKOFF.com/Candace.
Must sign up via getkickoff.com/Candace to activate offer. Offer applies to new Kickoff customers first month only. Subject to approval. Offer subject to change. Average
Yeah,
first
Kick
credit
will
score
kick
impact
you
of plus
off.
84 points. Vantage score 3.0. Between January
I'm joking.
late payments may negatively impact your credit score.
Or unique financial situation.
Okay, fuck your ads, Candace.
Okay, so we obviously cannot go so far as to suggest that Lori, Loretta, Abbas, Stanley, Wallstad, Franzwey was openly committing fraud. We can't say that. What we can confirm to you, however, is that if she was doing that, breaking the law and committing fraud is something that Lori's family is kind of historically known for. They kind of arrived into this country doing just that. You see, Lori
Really?
Franzwey, like I said, was born Loretta Abbas. She was named after her Syrian grandmother, Loretta Abbas.
Huh.
I want to sear into your mind right now that the Abbas family history is steep in gambling and casinos. All about gambling and casino.
So they were hooked with the mob? Is that what she's saying? Erika's family's hooked up with the mob?
Specifically. As we go along in this series, the history and the present of gambling casinos is going to become increasingly relevant. So let's bring in the OG Loretta Abbas, Erika's
OG.
great-grandmother who died in 1990, who was just constantly being arrested for running illegal slot machines. Okay, she came over from Syria and she got to work bringing filth and fraud in Pennsylvania. You check out this article from
Damn.
1941 where she testifies that she ran numbers. It says Loretta Abbas,
Thomas Roberts,
Washington,
California.
Thomas Roberts, whatever, testified that they engage in the numbers business and had been arrested on numerous occasions. They explained their role in the numbers lottery.
Sounds like they were dealing with the mob, y'all. Erika might have connections with the mob.
Without giving any direct testimony against the defendants. Okay, here's another one. We could keep going, but here's another article from 1944 where she pleads guilty to a lottery charge. Was before the court. She wasn't lying. She's always arrested on a lottery charge. The state police had a search warrant, and when they entered her house, they found a quantity of number slips. She was sentenced to pay the cost and $200 or 5 months in the county jail.
Her grandmother was in prostitution? The fuck?
Like I said, this was a family thing. Her husband was
Hey, you know what? That gives me an idea. I'll have to put my grandmother out on the corner. It's time for her to start making some money. Yeah, I'm going to go stick her out on the corner tomorrow. Nah, I wouldn't do that to her.
Mason Abbas, and he was magnificently fraudulent. I'm talking high-speed chases down the highway, lottery tickets blowing in the wind. Check out this article from 1935, and it tells us
Officers
that
arrest
he was
lottery
overtaken
suspect
in his
following
automobile
chase.
after a chase of several miles after he had failed to obey the officer's order to stop. Yes, Mason Abbas was arrested yesterday.
Before an alderman, he was held for court in default of $1,000 bond on a charge of conducting a lottery and was fined $10 and costs for refusing to stop when ordered to do so by a uniformed officer. Kind of fucking stupid. I mean, that's not much of a punishment. $1,000 bond, $10. You would not do that because you know that I would be one of her customers. I know you would, Tyler. Yeah, man, you'd fuck up my grandmother, man. And she's already in bad shape as it is, man. I don't need her to get messed up anymore.
Yesterday by County Detective Frank Krebs. Before an alderman, he was held for court in default of a $1,000 bond on a charge of conducting a lottery and was fined $10 and costs for refusing to stop when ordered to do so by a uniformed officer. During the race along the National Pike, which ended in West Alexander, Abbas is alleged to have thrown a package of 100 lottery tickets from his car. Officers recovered the tickets and
Package
are
of 100
holding them
lottery
as
tickets,
evidence. Yes.
Well, this dude was a serious gambler.
Lottery, gambling, slot machines. Again.
Well, I don't know if she can hang with you. She could roll with you. She could roll with you in the wheelchair.
Sear that into your mind. Not just on Erika's maternal side of the family, not just the Abbas side, but also the Swedish side, the Fransvej side. The Swedish side of the family, I will be clear, there's a notable difference. It seems like they've been involved legally. Carl Kenneth Fransvej is Erika's paternal grandfather. Okay, he participated extensively in horse racing. More crucially, though, he was an executive at the American Banknote Company in Illinois. This is the company that was responsible for printing lottery tickets. It's a big contract, a big deal. Here he is.
Hey, I want to work there. I want to work where they print the lottery tickets so I can print out the winning numbers for myself. Where do I go for that? Sign me up. Yeah, sign me the fuck up. I'll print my own lottery numbers. Where do I go for this?
A newspaper in 1974 doing just that. It reads, printing began this week on the first.
Okay, Tyler. Son of a bitch. I hope I ain't coming down sick. Yeah, Tyler. Okay, that'll be $1 million. $1 million, and you can watch movies with her. But it's $1 million minimum.
Illinois state lottery tickets, up to 10,000 agents. It tells us at the bottom there that Kent Fransvej of the American Banknote Company, the printer, examines the first tickets of the initial press.
Okay. You want to hear about her youth? I could tell you about her youth. I know everything about her, dude. She was dating my grandfather. My grandfather was running drugs from Mexico, and now this was before I was born, but my grandfather used to run drugs from Mexico. He wound up having to leave or they had wound up having to leave from California because they didn't pay taxes. Plus, people were out looking for him, trying to kill him. So that's how they ended up in Florida. And then that's when I was born, and that's why I'm over here in Florida. Otherwise, I would have been in California. And she used to smoke pot, and she used to drink a lot. She don't do any of that shit no more.
Run. Let's stick with Grandpa Carl Kenneth Fransvej for a little bit because he is, by all accounts, obviously Swedish. Erika herself is therefore Syrian Lebanese on her mother's side and Swedish on her father's side. So something which struck me as immediately odd about Erika is just how deeply she identifies as Swedish despite her public and
you know what's crazy? And it still can't, like my grandfather, he passed away about 5 years ago. But it always kicks my grandmother and my grandfather in the ass because at the time they used to live in this house that had a gate with like an intercom, where you could talk to people before you let them in, and it was right on the border of Mexico, like literally on the border. And they said you could see people like up on the cliff, and they would throw packages over, like drugs and shit. But they wound up having to move because they didn't pay taxes. And the house that they looked it up. If they still had that same house today, because they had that house back in, it was like 1960s sometime, maybe even the 1950s, but I want to say the 60s. That house was worth $5 million now. And I think they said something like 40 or 50,000 back in the 60s. Yeah. So they always fucking cringe about that, man.
insistence that she was raised by a quote
I
unquote
meant like
single
what it
mother.
was like growing up when
Think
World War
about
II was
that just
happening.
from a social.
She don't remember World War II, dude. She was born in 43. So she was only like 2 years old. She was born like just as it was ending, so she wouldn't know nothing about it.
Perspective. If Erika was indeed raised by a single mother, wouldn't you expect her to identify more deeply with those Lebanese Syrian roots, right? You might.
Hell yeah, I'd live in the house with her, dude. In California on the border? Hell yeah. Probably would have never moved out. I'd be like, oh, I'm staying here, grandma. Fuck you. We got us a $5 million house. What you talking about?
even understand it if she resented her Swedish roots. Like, my dad didn't do anything, and so I'm not even doing anything with the Swedes. I don't even like being Swedish. To the contrary, Erika feels so deeply attached to her Scandinavian roots that in 2019, she moved to begin the process of obtaining her dual citizenship. She posted this
Ooh.
herself, where she is, dual citizenship.
Dual citizenship. Services. What the fuck does that say? Services General Consulat? Services General Consulate? New York, New York. What's up? Dual citizenship midst. Man, fuck her dual citizenship. Send her back to wherever she's got dual citizenship for. Get her out of here. Like Trump says, get her out of here.
Commenced. Okay. Maybe you're thinking logically, well, she loves her grandpa. I had a fantastic grandpa. I get that.
Oh yeah, she does. Yeah, she had to come. She had to be here with me. She couldn't go by. Well, she'll have to be with somebody for now on until she's gone. There's no way she could live. She couldn't be by herself anymore.
I should mention she comes from a very long line of the Swedish
I don't fucking mind. Don't bother me. I mean, it's extra work I got to do, but hey, it's family, man.
Freemasons. She definitively was close to her grandfather. We know this because she posts about him many, many times over the years, referring to him affectionately as her morfar. Saw this over and over again. You're just seeing posts of him on how much she loves him.
What the fuck is a morfar? Miss Erika Kirk. What was it like to lose him? Who the fuck is this guy up here in the top? Who's this old dude? What the hell? Oh, who's this old lady? What the hell kind of family they got going on here?
She even mentioned her grandmother there. That's his wife, Elaine. And she says she is my angel in heaven, but I usually call her Mormor. So that's her morfar and her Mormor. I'll show you another post, just her grandfather, where she's going to talk about...
Man, that's what prostitutes say. More, please. More.
Reflecting upon losing him in 2016. She's posting this, and she, again, is going to address him as her morfar.
Morfar.
This appears to be another wrinkle.
That sounds gay. My morfar. It almost sounds like you're saying morfart. My morfart. Jesus Christ.
You see, I received a flurry of emails from our fans in Sweden about this particular post, and they did not like this post. And what they told me about it, they didn't like about it, made me reconsider things. Now, I'm paraphrasing, but they said, Candace, Erika is referring to her grandfather as her morfar. I was like, okay. So I looked it up. It means grandfather in Swedish. Like maybe she doesn't, but it's cute. Okay.
Morfar.
Maybe she's not fluent, but she's cute.
Morfart.
And then they explained it to me a little further. They said, no, Candace.
So Erika likes to fart a lot. Got it. No wonder why she always looks angry and pissed all the time. I guess I would too if I had to fart all the time. More fart, please.
The Swedish language is quite literal here. Morfar quite literally translates into mother's father, morfar. And farfar quite literally translates into father's father. We have different words.
What the fuck? More fart. And then we got fart. Yo. More fart. More fart and fart.
Words for these things. These have entirely different meanings. You would never call your father's mother your morfar. You would never call, and that's what she's doing. She's calling him her morfar. That is Erika's farfar.
That's her fart. That's her fart. Fart. More fart, please. This is fucking gay.
If Kent is her father's father is her farfar. She said, a woman emailed this, she said, no Swedish grandfather would ever allow you to refer to him as morfar if he was not actually your morfar, okay? If he was your farfar, he'd say, very cute, I'm your farfar, let's get that.
Well, can we get Erika to go farfar? Can we get her to go farfar and then go more far? Can we get her to do that? Go farfar and more far.
Straight. This would be something akin to being someone's grandfather and allowing them to call you uncle. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. Words have meaning. So why is her very Swedish grandfather so Swedish, this line of Freemasons, Masons Swedish, allowing Erika to call him my mother's father. Lori's father? No, that's not Lori's father.
Lori's father.
What's going on here? This is an incredibly interesting wrinkle.
Sounds like there's a lot of incest going on in this family. That's what it sounds like to me. This family sounds fucked up. No wonder why Erika's the way she is.
Which brings us to a point where we should introduce you to the family tree so you can just kind of see what's going on here, because this far scandal troubles me deeply.
What the hell?
Is Erika lying?
Okay. We have a family tree here, y'all. Inez Wickland. Warner Wickland. Elaine Francevy. Carl Francevy. Jean Brainerd. Robert Brainerd. Charlene Francie. Kent Francie. Lori Francevy. Gary, Kendra, Carla. Look at fucking Carla, dude. She got that 70s hairdo bullshit. Jack Solomon. Kind of looks like he's in the mob. Who the hell is this Diana Solomon? This Diana Solomon looks like shit. She looks like she just got out of the strip club. And then Nicole. Nicole looks like a bitch. Alan looks like a... I don't know what the fuck he looks like. He looks like he wanted to try to be a Johnny Depp, but he failed miserably. And then look at Erika. Look at her in that picture right there. Don't she look mad as hell? Look at her eyes. She looks pissed. Charlie's smiling and she's glaring like she's mad at the world. I don't know what the hell he ever saw in her, dude.
Is she mistaking? Is she making a mistake at all? Or is she accidentally actually trying to tell us the truth? Let's take a look at some other interesting tidbits. On March 21st of 2019, Erika visits with Charlie. She's in Jerusalem with Charlie, what is known as Zion's Gate in Jerusalem. She posts a picture.
Zion's Gate. I knew they were aliens. I knew they were fucking aliens, y'all. Zion's Gate. It's where they came from. Fucking aliens. That's why they're so fucked up. They're not even human.
With a pretty curious caption. It reads in part, meet Darla, a Romanian Jew that now calls Israel home. She was sitting by my family's dedication sign for restoring the Zion Gate in Jerusalem. Oh.
What?
What? Why is Erika describing the Zion's Gate as her family's dedication? Speaking of which, why does her one-time roommate, Nicole Rothstein, allege that half of their family, referring to her and Erika's family, is Jewish?
What?
Doesn't make sense. She also claimed that after Charlie's assassination, that Erika, she was online going back and forth with people, that Erika was her best friend and her cousin. Nicole Rothstein said this. Now, I want to be clear, the Rothstein family, the Zion's Gate is their dedication. Nicole wouldn't be lying if she posted that it was her family's dedication, but Erika?
Would she,
also,
though?
How did Erika and Nicole Rothstein get so close? Remember, Erika presents that she was raised by a single mother on the Lebanese side. If Erika is telling the truth about her paternity...
Well, we know Erika's not telling the truth. You know what? I want a DNA test on her kids. I want a DNA test on Erika's kids. I got money that says I don't know, maybe they are Charlie's, but I'm really curious as to whether they even really are Charlie's.
Then Nicole Rothstein, I want you to...
And maybe, just maybe that's why Kirk didn't have his wedding band on the night before he was killed. And they were sleeping in separate rooms. Maybe he found out that the kids weren't his. Just a theory.
Understand who this would be to her. Nicole Rothstein, it's going to sound ridiculous, but this is the reality, if Erika's telling the truth. Nicole Rothstein would be Erika's father's sister's husband's previous wife's daughter's daughter. In other words, zero blood relation, not even kind of related. Kind of crazy you would even call each other cousins. People do that. It's cool. It's my cousin. It's my cousin. Okay.
Leave it to Candace to go back to the bloodline. Leave it to her to go back to the bloodline. She said, you have zero relations, bitch.
Cool. Erika goes a little further, though. Erika also posted a lovely tribute to Alan Rothstein, Nicole's father, online. She calls him Uncle. Uncle?
Uncle?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. If Erika's telling the truth about who her parents are, to Erika, that would be her father's sister.
How many dads does this bitch got? Like, what the hell is she doing? Are these her dads or are these all her sugar daddies? Sounds more like she's got sugar daddies.
Husband's previous wife's daughter's husband. Suffice it to say, again, absolutely zero blood relation, and yet Erika is extraordinarily close to him as well. Now, we can show you on the family chart just how removed this is. It's insane. Okay, but we actually couldn't even fit it. It's so far
Hold
removed.
on.
So you've got
Anita Solomon, Alexander Solomon, Jack Solomon, Carla. So we got the stripper, we got the wannabe mob guy, we got another stripper. So she comes from a line of strippers and trannies is in her bloodline. So Erika might not even be female, y'all. She could be trans. She might be packing a tree trunk. How about that?
her aunt, Carla, is married to a guy named Jack, but Jack was also previously married to somebody else, which you see there named Edna. And this is Edna and Jack's line. This has nothing to do with Erika Franzwe. Again, how did she get so close to these people? Why is she referring to them as her family and declaring that Zion's Gate, which is actually their family's dedication, which has nothing to do with her aunt?
Isn't it crazy, though, that out of all this, like, some of them have the same last names, and then poor Kirk is, like, right there by himself? Like, there's no other Kirks. None. And then he's there. Well, it says Erika Kirk, but technically I wouldn't say she was a Kirk. She was there just to get his money. That's the only reason she was there. All right, I gotta go. I'm gonna keep this playing. I gotta go to restroom real quick. I'll be right back, y'all.
Carla. Why is she saying that that's her family's dedication? That makes no sense. I'm struck by this. We could imagine how it could make sense. Now, again, we're imagining here. We're trying to make sense of the things that Erika is saying. I could imagine a very easy way it could actually make sense. Her closeness to the Rothsteins, her dedication to Jerusalem, if and only if we take Erika literally when she says Morfar. Let's assume that Grandpa Carl is indeed her mother's father. That would mean, well, obviously, Lori's wouldn't be her mother. It would also mean that Kent, just by nature of him being a man, is not her father. We're looking for her mother's father. So we have to start looking at Kent's siblings that are females. That would give us only 3 options. We can bring this back up. One of Kent's sisters would be my first pick. Again, we're in conspiracy land here, but I'd go with Carla because she's married to Jack Solomon, and that is Jack Solomon's dedication. Carla wasn't even married to Jack until 2002. She just jumped in and was like, this is my whole family and my family's dedication. No. But if Carla, her mother's father, if her mother was Carla, actually it would all make sense. Solomon is the very man who financed the restoration of Zion's Gate in Jerusalem. If Jack Solomon was her father, then Nicole Rothstein would indeed be her blood relative cousin. But again, that's purely speculation. We don't have to go into speculation. Let's give you the facts more about Jack Solomon. What is factual is that Jack Solomon eventually marries Carla Franzwe in 2002. And there are also some other really interesting facts about Jack. Jack and Erika's mommy aunt, I don't know, Carla, live in Utah. He graduated from what is today known as Utah Valley University. He's very involved in the university. It was formerly known as Utah Valley State College when he graduated from there. He also created on their campus the Center for Jewish Studies. I mean, at the very least, you'd think with all of the money that he poured into that university, he might be able to call someone to get us more footage of Tyler Robinson. Or Carla. How about Carla? She's married to the man. She could have maybe, in my imagination, made it to the hospital when Charlie was shot and killed. I mean, why did none of them make it to the hospital? They're all so nearby. She still lives in Utah. This happened in their backyard. Their family has a lot of power at UVU. Why not Auntie Carla rather than Stacey Sheridan accompanying you onto Air Force Two as your husband's body is escorted to Arizona? Jack Solomon was also a professor at BYU in political science. He's the former director of the university's Jerusalem Center. He also served on the Center for Jewish Studies on the board at UVU. Zion's Gate, like I said, is his dedication. And if you're wondering how Jack got so rich, it's because back in 1968, Jack and his business partner, a man named Norman Vance, began a company called Advanced Patent Technology. That company would go on to manufacture slot machines. You got it. Slot machines. It's just amazing. It's like everyone is involved in gambling. Per his bio, in 1974, Jack gathered more than $5 million to purchase United Coin, the manufacturer of slot machines and the holder of a profitable Southern Nevada slot machine routes. In 1979, they announced plans for the Colorado Bell Hotel and Casino in Laughlin, Nevada, the first of a series of hotels to be built in the Las Vegas area. They had a lot of power in that area. Where were they? I don't know. It's an interesting connection. I am marking that for all of the YouTubers who are interested in investigation. The gambling thing keeps coming up. And I guess, as me and Charlie used to say, the rest is future. We'll be right back after a quick break. All right, I'm going to tell you about Nimi Skincare because it is the only skincare brand that I've actually stayed consistent with. It's what I use, it's what I trust, and it's what my routine is built around. A lot of people record of your ownership gets transferred out of your name. Criminals can then use your ownership to drain your equity or even sell your property. You won't even know about it until you start getting collection or foreclosure notices in the mail. That's why I've partnered with Home Title Lock so that you can protect your equity and find out today if you are already a victim. Use my promo code Candace at HomeTitleLock.com and you'll get a free title history report and a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That is 24/7 monitoring of your title records, urgent alerts to any changes, and if fraud occurs, their U.S.-based restoration team will spend up to $1 million to fix it. Again, that's HomeTitleLock.com, promo code Candace, or just use the link in the description below. All right, now for some fun, because remember when they were freaking out about me discussing time travel, me discussing specifically Project Looking Glass, the...
Dude, if they ever come out with time travel, I'm definitely going back in time, dude. I'm going back to like I don't know. I want to go to like maybe the late. I want to go through World War II again. Let's do that. Experience World War II, just like experience all some of the like big history shit. You know, go back in time. Call George Washington a bitch. You know, see what Thomas Edison thinks about being called a fag. Probably wouldn't even know what that is. How fucked up would that be? Could you imagine if you like dressed up as trans and then went back in time to like the George Washington, Abraham Lincoln? Then you probably get fucking killed, dude. They'd be like, "What the fuck is this?"
CIA thing that actually happened. They allegedly stole Sumerian technology to peer into the future. Well, you have to imagine my surprise when I began looking into Erika's early years. For some reason, I was under the impression, maybe you were too, but Erika moved to Arizona after her parents' divorce. So that would put her in Arizona after 1998. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt here because it's a minor.
Why didn't they kidnap her in Arizona? Why'd they have to take Nancy Guthrie? Why didn't they just grab Erika? Nobody would have missed her. I don't think anybody would have missed her at all.
A wrinkle, but her parents didn't divorce until she was 10.
And probably could have saved Charlie from meeting her. And Charlie would have, maybe would still be alive today.
But it's totally possible, like when you're a kid and your parents are separating many times before they get divorced, that you associate a divorce with a separation. Anyway, here's the true timeline. Erika was in Cincinnati, Ohio for daycare in 1992. She attended a place called Walnut Corner Children's Center in Cincinnati, Ohio, located inside of a massive corporate building. Oddly, the filing for that daycare doesn't have a floor number, but I can show you this photo of her at daycare.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
LOL, by the way, to her being dressed as a little bee and accidentally throwing up some Freemasons.
Dude, look, man, I'm not saying I was the best looking baby either, but damn. Hey, is she the female Andrew Tate, y'all? Look, she's got the Andrew Tate hands. You know, the Andrew Tate hands. Like this. She's the female Andrew Tate, y'all. I never knew that.
Hand signs. That's just like a nice ad. She looks adorable. Thereafter, she moves to Arizona and she attends a school that they have virtually tried to wipe from public existence. Now, it's very difficult to explain this unless you're in the weeds, but there is another school by the same name that goes on for a little bit longer. But this particular school came to fruition when a man named John T. Goley incorporated Educational Alternatives up in Minnesota. It was called Educational Alternatives Incorporated. Now, John T. Goley was a big guy. He had formerly helped launch Roundup Monsanto, just a little bit of
Couldn't have been too big of a guy. I don't know who the hell he is. Yeah, couldn't have been too big.
government poisoning you, giving you a bunch of cancer. This time, though, he was pioneering charter schools in America. He teamed up with the Walton family, the Bush family. Yeah, everybody involved in this school that Erika's going to attend.
Like, hey, look, I like Candace, okay? But how do we know she's not just being jealous? How do we know she's not just being jealous of Erika?
It's interesting. I don't know. Don't you want to go to school where the Bushes, the Waltons, Monsanto is getting together a school? I don't know. Want to send your kids? Anyways, John T. Goley, and Jeb Bush went on to Good Morning America to announce the project. The schools would come to be known as Tesseract Schools, named after the children's book,
Schools.
A Wrinkle in Time, a story about time travel. The protagonists of that book fly through space and time using a Tesseract to rescue their family from evil forces. It's a battle between good and evil using time travel, and it's about to get even more fun because when these powerful families...
Where would you all go if you could time travel? Where would you all like to go? What part of history? I don't know. Like, say if you had to pick just one place, where would you like to go back in history? I don't know, man. Maybe I would maybe we'd go back before America was even here, like go back to the Columbus days. You know, be on the boat chilling with Columbus, you know, fucking his bitches on the boat as we're going across. You know what I mean? That seems like that'd be fun.
Decided to start the Tesseract School in Arizona. They began with a small school in Paradise Valley first. It is that specific school that Erika attended that is virtually impossible to come by many documents regarding. They needed a space for the school, and they decided they were going to rent the building that was owned by a Jewish school. Forgive my terrible Hebrew, but the school, I kid you not, was called Gan Yaladim Looking Glass School. It's like,
What the fuck is that?
I just love this so much. So Tesseract was put into a looking glass.
I'm sorry, but this episode of Candace's, I would have to say, is probably not one of her best moments because she's fucking all over the place with this one. All over the fucking place.
just think it's fantastic. I just imagine they thought I was like dropping some clues. I was like, why are they all freaking out about this episode about Project Looking Glass? They probably thought I had already known that she went to this Looking Glass school.
Project Looking Glass? Man, that sounds like I don't know, that sounds like something the police or the FBI would have. What they would name like a mission for like pedophiles. Project Looking Glass. Who the hell would name their school that?
It was a little elite looking glass school down in Arizona. By the way, Tesseract, the school itself, is exceedingly Jewish in terms of the administration. It was run by Jewish executive directors. The teachers are all Jewish. Obviously, you know me, I'm nosy. I tracked down the yearbooks. I mean, I was working really hard while I was off. And I can show you that Erika was at school. I don't have every year yet, but I do have some years, 1995 to 1996 in first.
Jesus Christ, dude. Every time I see a picture of her, man, even when she was younger, like, I don't know, man. I'm saying, like, if I was that age and I was in her school and I seen her, I don't know, man. I just wouldn't find her that attractive, dude. I just really wouldn't.
Grade, 1996.
I really don't know what Charlie ever seen in her, really. Honestly, don't. Man, he could have picked a better one for sure. And it makes you wonder if he was dating somebody else, would he still be alive? Makes you wonder.
To 1997 in second grade, and 1997 to 1998, which is
What the fuck? She looks like a boy there. I told you she was trans. I told you guys. I knew it. Look, she looks like a boy. She's got a boy haircut. She's trans, y'all. Erika Kirk is trans.
her in third grade. I got to tell you, I am so glad that I found this Tesseract. I didn't get to time travel with it.
Now my
I don't
nose is
think I
fucking
did.
running.
You think they saw me in a looking glass? How panicked were they when I said looking glass? Whoa, no, she's talking about Project Looking Glass. That's crazy. Meanwhile, they're down in Arizona, like naming their schools Project Looking Glass, like Looking Glass Tesseract. Put them in the school.
Project Looking Glass.
I just love that. It was like an accidental troll. But what is very exciting about finding her at this school is that it unlocked a lot of important things that needed to be known about Erika's life and her connections. I mean, wow. Speaking to people who went to that school, the one in Paradise Valley, to be very clear, there's other Tesseracts. It got shut down. The one I'm talking about got shut down in the year 2000. And then other schools, because they had other schools, kept going. They changed ownership. But this one was there for a very small amount of time. I'm looking at the yearbooks, and there are some interesting players involved in this school that kind of went down for fraud, just robbing the piggy bank. It's like a recurring theme. We're going to stop here, though, for today, because that's a lot. I've given you a lot today to digest,
Okay.
and we should probably get to.
So we're done with that one.